Hey guys, it's Rush. Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Today, this video is a Q&A, Ask Me Anything. So I put a community post out there on the YouTube channel and you guys came back with some interesting questions, some funny questions. So yeah, it was about content, streaming, just general life and where I'm at and what's going on behind the scenes, what's happened since I've been away, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, this video, I'll run through those questions with you. Just a bit of fun, really, nothing too serious. Okay, dokes. The first question comes from Matthias, and Matthias asked, it's an interesting question, if you could play one fighting game for the rest of your life, which would it be? Thank you, Matthias. So, let's be realistic. My first real fighting game that I learned was Street Fighter 5, and that game has a, how would I describe it? It has a place in my heart, not because it's my first fighting game, but because of the experience I went through becoming a decent player, but starting off as a beginner, seeing the transition from where I started to where I finished. It was a lot of time, but it wasn't just that, it was the journey itself in terms of sharing the struggles and the journey with you guys and the people that I met along the way. I made a lot of friends, whether they were people I met online, offline. I made a lot of friends, a lot of relationships, a lot of contacts through doing this, and it's been really fun. It's been a really fun process. So I'd say Street Fighter 5. I'm sorry, you Street Fighter 6 lovers, but Street Fighter 5 would be the fighting game that I could play the rest of my life. And talking more about Street Fighter 5 and why I like it so much is I love the game. I like the pacing of it. The roster's really good. I like the personality within the game. You can express yourself, in my opinion, a lot in that game through the cast, through the system, the mechanics and things. It was just a really fun game. It was only let down by the netcode. So I'd say a close second would be Tekken. Like Tekken as a whole, not so much a specific Tekken. I find Tekken a really fun game to play casually with friends offline. I played with family. I play with my kids now on Tekken 8. I've played with friends in the past. I do like a little get together where, you know, we don't take it super seriously. We just have fun on Tekken. So Tekken would be a close second in terms of general Tekken. But yeah, I like competitive fighting games. I like Street Fighter 5. And if ever they release the supreme mega edition with ultimate badass netcode, I'm on it. I'm streaming it every single day. Second question comes from Strider Zan, aka The Coach, aka Gorilla. You may have seen this individual on my stream. Ironically, his question is, if you had to pick one brethren as your favorite stream buddy in the whole wide world, who would you pick? Ooh, that's a juicy one. So let's just go through who's been on my stream. Coach, as I just mentioned, has been on my stream. Booney's been on my stream. My son, Avon, has been on my stream. Benji has now been on my stream. He's a new addition to the roster. And there's a fifth person that's been on the stream. And they're on this video right now. It's the whiteboard. The whiteboard, they help me with communication. They help me with hiding the mess behind the whiteboard. I can leave messages here that they can relay the messages back to the chat, to the people watching videos. I really appreciate your whiteboard. You're holding the fort. So it's a difficult choice. You know, you got my son, who I should pick because he's my son. But no, we had jokes, to be fair. It was good on Street Fighter 5. He's grown up so much since you last saw him, if you've been following the channel for a while. So you wouldn't even recognize him if he was on a stream now. We were talking about doing some Tekken 8 together because we're both sort of playing and learning Tekken 8. So I should be picking him, really. There's the coach for, you know, the banter, for the coaching, for the yin and yang, where he doesn't understand what I'm talking about, I don't understand what he's talking about, and we have different opinions, but they gel together well. There's that, and there's Booney. Just said, what do I say about Booney? Godlike and hilarious, variety streamer. Oh man, this is tricky. But if I had to give the award to somebody, how could it not be Benji? Benji Boo, you know, he's cute, he's cuddly, he's got puppy dog eyes, even though he's not a puppy now, he's a bit older. Yeah, man, I can just imagine myself streaming again with Benji by my side. I'll be frustrated at the Jamie main, doing raw drive rush and sweeping in neutral and just spamming DI. I'll be screaming and shouting and ready to throw my pad out the window, and then Benji will be just there next to me, saying to me, "It's cool, Rush, just don't worry about it. I'm here, you're here, good vibes." Hacker the Gamer asked, I want to know, what is your favourite play to do on either Street Fighter 5 or Street Fighter 6. Like reacting to Fireball with EXTP or Super, maybe it's the max range punishes with Super 2. Maybe it's a hyper specific situational punish. I hope you understand the question. Yeah, it's crystal clear. I think as a more broad way of answering this is I like to lab something difficult that is situational in a matchup or a scenario, but then doing it in a match, but not just doing it in a match, doing it in a match and displaying it to viewers, to the FGC, just whoever's watching, really, just highlight that, you know, you may not have known this character can do this, but they can do this, and I'm consistent with it, and this is what it is. So that's not very specific. I was supposed to be more specific. Gon asks, what do you like so much about Street Fighter 5 that Street Fighter 6 doesn't have, fails to accomplish? I think playing Ken in Street Fighter 5 and playing Street Fighter 5, Shoto in Street Fighter 5, I fell in love with the neutral game, with punishing, hit confirming, solid anti-airs, having anti-air conversions that were quite unique or interesting, like trades and stuff. And yeah, I like that about the game. The game, I could play it slow, I could play calculated, I could play counterplay very well in Street Fighter 5, and I had consistent tools in Street Fighter 5 to play that way. And Street Fighter 6 is a more chaotic game. You have mechanics like DI, which will blow up things like fireballs, certain normals that don't have a cancel window. Drive Rush just eliminates trying to play with punishing neutral, like they just drive rush behind a button rather than actually swing at you, and you get punished because you're in slower recovery than you'd normally be. It's a very chaotic game, and I can't control it in quite the same way as 5. And having, let's be real, we all know the anti-airs suck in Street Fighter 6, and I hate that. Like, being someone that was known for like anti-airs, I know it's corny, and I still find it corny now, but I had good anti-airs in Street Fighter 5. And I can't do that in 6 because they literally whiff and go underneath the opponent. And I'm just like, yo, like, what am I supposed to do at this angle? Just don't DP and just block or just press parry. I hate that about 6. But I'm hoping that specifically is something they can fix in 6. So it's that lack of control and consistency in 6 compared to my ability in 5 that I'm not that keen on. So I'd love to see little tweaks to improve DPs, to stop this drive rush input eating business. That would be really cool to see in 6. And yeah, quality of life things in 6 I think would help the game. My man's DJ Sonny B, he asks, when are we going to do the run back 1st to 10 on stream? If you don't know this, Sonny B whooped my ass in Street Fighter 5. It was 10-0 to Sonny B, a big fat 0 against my name. He destroyed me in that set. I can't even say it's close. It was one of those sets where like I could have got games, but I didn't get games because he just washed me at the very end. GG, Sonny, GG's. Are we talking 5 or 6? So you've asked me a question. I'm going to go back to you with a question. Are we talking Street Fighter 5? We're talking 6? You got to let me know, bro, and we'll look at setting something up. So the next question comes from Jubei, and they ask, as Season 2 for Street Fighter 6 is nearly around the corner, what would you like to see in terms of general game or mechanic changes? So I've done a video on this. It was a long video. It was a little tongue-in-cheek about what I changed to drive. But off the back of that, and after a lot of discussion with you guys in the chat, through the comment section, discussion with friends, Coach, for example, I spoke to Coach about some of my suggestions, some of his suggestions. I tailored that 30-minute video down to a very small list, and I do feel, firstly, let's fix the drive input eating. Now, if I press a button during those 10 or 11 frames where you're drive rushing in, I want my button still to come out. Even if it comes out slower, that's fine. I want it to come out. Fix that, Capcom. Fix the DPs, they're just tragic. Drive impact, make the animation, the color the same for every character. So at the moment, if you do a drive impact with Ken, it's like kind of orangey red. If you do it with Lily, it's green. Why green? If Drive Rush is green, Jury's is black and grey and stuff. I like the idea, but the consistency of the mechanic, it's just not there. It's very difficult to identify the DI based on the colors and stuff. It does make it harder to see. So some consistency with DI, I think that's all DI really needs. It is annoying otherwise, but I understand it's a fairly balanced mechanic, and I understand why it's there. Drive reversal. I think the main thing with drive reversal, talking to Coach again about this, and I forgot to mention this in that video, is changing the input from the moment it's forward, heavy punch, heavy kick, and that's really bad because you can accidentally get DI if you come out of block stun momentarily, and that's pretty bad in this game. In Street Fighter 5, you had to do 3 punches or 3 kicks and press forward or backwards. I think it was forwards for the majority of the cast, and you'd get V reversal on when you're in block stun. That was better. You still could get a move when you come out of block stun, but it wouldn't be something as significant as drive impact. I don't think drive impact and drive reversal should be mapped the same way. So I think that's really actually all that needs to be done with drive reversal. I feel like it's a counter option for drive rush, it's a defensive option to battle drive rush and other heavily plus moves that have lots of recovery. Yeah, so I don't think they should do anything else to drive reversal, even though I suggested it should cost less and it should be less punishable. And for drive parry, I think if they left it as it is, it actually wouldn't be too bad. And I know it sounds crazy. I've suggested removing the freeze from strike perfect parry. It'd make it harder to use, but that's my controversial change. Everything else, if they made those changes, the game would be fantastic. So fingers crossed, man. We'll see what happens. It's only around the corner, as you said, Jubei. But yeah, time will tell. Matt in Winky asks, do you think the reward was worth all your efforts, and are you where you thought you'd be when this all started? The truth is, I had never envisioned of being where I am now with this. I didn't really have a vision. I started uploading videos. I started on MKX doing combo videos and secret brutalities. Started doing some 5 content, and it just snowballed from then. I got very addicted to the content creation process. I got addicted to Street Fighter 5. I loved it. I still do, to be fair, but for reasons. I enjoyed the process. I got very addicted with the process. I enjoyed the community. I enjoyed seeing the growth. Yeah, I hate to use this word. I'm not known. I'm not famous. I don't make lots of money out of this. I'm not an extremely good player. I don't really have a game right now to play. In terms of Street Fighter 6, I play it and I make content, but I don't really enjoy it like I did with 5. So I don't really have a game I'm passionate about right now. I love Tekken, but I'm a beginner, and I'm kind of investing more time in 6, so Tekken's on the back seat. So yeah, I didn't really know where this would go. I didn't have any expectations. I mean, do I have a vision with this? Not really. It's just a hobby, to be honest. I don't foresee this being more permanent. I don't foresee this being any bigger than it is. It's slowly growing over time. If people like the content I make, my philosophy is I make content I'd like to watch that's interesting to me. So if I make content I enjoy and you enjoy it, then it's a bonus. So you guys are all here because you must have a similar taste in content to me, or you like my voice, or as the next individual said, you like my beard, like my Ken, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I've taught you some things. Maybe you like the controller videos. I don't know why you're here, but I appreciate you being here anyway. So yeah, I don't read into it too much. I am conscious that the content creation process is very addictive. Fighting games, gaming is very addictive, and that's what keeps me locked in, which is scary. But yeah, find that balance is what I've found to be key in more recent times. The next question, well, statement, not a question, comes from the real JV. Are you the real JV? And they say, I need to get a beard like yours. Well, call it a blessing, call it a curse. I'm British, but I'm Indian. I'm Sikh, if you know what Sikh is. You may not know. It depends where you are in the world. But I'm tall, skinny, light skin, and I'm hairy. Blessing or a curse, I don't know. So I saw it as a curse when I was younger because I was the hairiest person at school. But obviously now, I mean, I didn't actually grow my beard out for this video, but my beard is huge right now. It's grey as well because I'm old. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the only thing you can do is get with someone, get with a hairy girl, procreate, and then your kids will have amazing beards. So Kiko asks if I could go by when, if after, how rather do then. So I read this comment when it came through on the on my phone, and I saw it, and I remember reading it and translating it and being like, okay, this is what he means. This is what they mean. Sorry, I'm confused now. But give me 2 secs. If I could go by when, if after, how rather to do. I think that what they're saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, I apologize. I think what they're saying is, if I could do it all over again, knowing what I know now, what would I do different? This is if that's what they're asking, it's a good question, and I could spend all of an hour talking about it, but to keep it short, if I knew what I knew now, I would not do content. I would not start YouTube. And the reason I say that is because when I started YouTube, it was not the right time. It was not the right place. My mindset, my attitude, the way I was handling life, my family life at the time was terrible. And I feel me doing that, it was an outlet for me, but it also took a large portion of me away from everything when I was quite mentally distant, cold, emotionally detached at the time. I had a lot of problems back then that I didn't even understand, or I didn't even realize were an issue. And as time's gone on and I've been through things, it's been my Street Fighter 5 struggle, which is, it's really corny, but my Street Fighter 5 struggle has coincided with my IRL struggle. And with both situations, I've had to improve both sort of journeys. I've had to improve as a player for the content, for myself, and for the stream, and just, yeah, that was the journey I was on. And I always pushed myself because I had the viewership. I wanted to do good by my viewers for Street Fighter 5, and likewise in the background, you know, I went through a separation from my wife. I started over from scratch. All I had, told this story probably many times, I just had my streaming equipment, I had my clothes, and I had my gym equipment. I had a barbell and a squat rack, which I had to sell because I had nowhere to put it at the time. And I had to start from scratch. I had to literally start my life from scratch, and it was hard with 3 kids and stuff. And, you know, I looked at myself in the mirror and thought to myself, who have I become? Why have I allowed things to get to this point? And I had to address these things. So if I knew what I knew now, I would go back to who I was back then in 2016 and be like, you need to get your life together. This is not the path that's going to help you achieve that. And I wouldn't have done any of this at all. So maybe I don't expect an answer, but just being real with you guys, that's where I am. I do it now because I've had to reestablish myself, and I have reestablished myself, and I enjoy it. It's a creative outlet for me. I appreciate having a following, be it small. I do appreciate that. And I like helping people. I've said this before. I really like helping people, educating people, and somewhat, I'm not super entertaining, but like I do like entertaining people as well. So if people enjoy what I offer, then that's great. So yeah, good question. Another good question. Okay, the next question comes from Izonk. I hope you all know Izonk. He is a YouTuber as well. Some really good 6 content. Damn, I plugged Izonk. I didn't plug Sonny B. Sorry, Sonny B. Sonny B streams on Twitch and has a YouTube as well. Sorry, boss. Sorry, boss. Let me do my Izonk impression. What's up, everybody? It's Izonk. Awful impression, but if you know Izonk, that may make some sense. But yeah, give him a follow, some good content. So Izonk is very cheeky. They've come in with 2 questions, and I don't remember asking for 2 questions, but because I like you, Izonk, I'll let you off. Question number 1, if you could change one thing in Street Fighter 6 Season 2, all the rest stay the same, including characters, what would you change? Think hard, it's all intertwined. So based on the fact they mentioned intertwined, it sounds like they're talking about drive specifically, not like, I can't say better DPs because that's not part of the drive system. I think it's the input eating of drive rush. It's, yeah, easy one for me. I just don't feel like that's, I don't feel like it makes sense that the game does that, and it just feels. I'm not going to say a bug. It's not a bug. It's been programmed that way, but it just doesn't feel like someone's thought about what they've designed with the mechanic. It just feels stupid. If I can squeeze in a 1.5 in there, it's also that when you do raw drive rush into button, if your button hits and you get a combo off that hit, they shouldn't regain bar off the follow-up hits. So in my video I did before, I said about raw drive rush costing 1.5 bars rather than 1 bar. Scrap that, let it be 1 bar. But if you get a hit or if you get pressure after it, your follow-up. No, let me correct this. So if you do raw drive rush into button and that button is blocked, I don't want no one building no meter off that blocked hit. I don't mind losing drive, but you ain't gaining no meter off that. If you hit me, same like drive rush cancel, the follow-up hits that combo from the drive rushed attack don't build a meter. If you do drive rush cancel and you hit me and you do a follow-up combo from that situation, at the moment you don't build bar. You don't build any bar at all. It stays where it is. It should be the exact same for raw drive rush. I don't know what Capcom are thinking, what they were smoking when they did this, but please no. Isaac, second question. They've asked, when you know that you dislike how playing Street Fighter 6 makes you feel, why do you still feel the urge to play? Asking for a break. Okay. My my opinion on this situation is that those individuals believe the game will improve and they're just powering through it. They believe that the mechanics may be improved, the game may be improved, the features may be improved to a point where the game becomes more enjoyable. And I suspect that they think with the more time they play over time, they will get better at the game and they will be able to be more consistent against some of the player base. I think, based on my opinion, that the friend you are talking about, that's probably what they're going through right now. All right, question from Steve Q. I'm pretty much busted now. The fact that this question follows Izong's question. Do you actually like Street Fighter 6? I think I've been sussed out here. If I said how much I like Street Fighter 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say 9 out of 10. I really enjoy that game. On a scale of 1 to 10 with 6, do I enjoy it? I'd say a 6. I'd even say like a 5.5. It's above halfway. I do enjoy it more than I don't like it, but it's extremely marginal how much I do like it. Tajito asks, have you found any other hobbies outside of fighting games since Street Fighter 6 came out, or maybe revisiting old projects again? I find myself exercising a little more and clearing my video game backlog that I neglected when I was playing a lot of Street Fighter 5. That's a really, really good question. So I had a break recently with Street Fighter 6, as you all know. I've come back a bit too hastily, I feel, with the content. But during that time, so my other hobby is fitness. I'm really into fitness. I like walking, I like hiking, I like running, I like lifting heavy. I've got you can't see it, but I've got a squat rack in this small flat. So I've got equipment, I've got barbells, I've got a dips, I've got a pull-up bar on the rack and stuff. So I am heavily into like my fitness and stuff. But my dilemma is, and this is I've known this for years, if I do something, I go in 110%. So with the weights, there was a period recently whilst I was off. My diet was good anyway, but like I was eating a lot, and it was all good stuff. I was working out really hard. I'm talking 2-hour workouts, sometimes 2.5-hour workouts, nearly every day. I'd have like 1 off day a week. I was putting on size. I was getting stronger. I was feeling good about myself, but I wasn't playing 6 or I wasn't playing Street Fighter. When I start playing more Street Fighter or making specifically more content for Street Fighter, I noticed my hobbies start dropping off. So that's what's happened. Since I've started doing more content, I've noticed the gym stuff's just kind of fallen by the wayside. So I've got to rebuild that balance, and I'm conscious of that right now. So yeah, I think that's the main one. Spending more time with my kids, that's something that I didn't do the early days of 5 as much as I should have, but I'm spending a lot more time with the kids. They are here more anyway, just the way things are. They're a bit different now. So more time with me than prior. So we have a lot of fun together. I mean, what we do is other than doing like typical kid stuff, like parent kid stuff, like when we do chill, like I'm teaching my son Tekken 8. Uh, so if you don't know, my son at this time of the video is my eldest is 12, the twins are 7. We play multiplayer games on the PlayStation. So we play. Recently we got Bomberman. Play Bomberman. We play Quake 2, split screen. We play Minecraft. We play Streets of Rage. So we do cool stuff, and I like. We're all into drawing. We like drawing, that kind of stuff. It's just general stuff to keep them busy. But just to be a lot more in their life. Not to make up for before, because I was in their life, but I really want to create really good and happy, nice memories for them. And we've been doing that a lot lately for the last it's ramped up more the last few years as I've been more independent and stuff, and I've had them more. So yeah, that's the other thing really. That's really it. Anything else go on? Nah, I think that's it. But with the content is a creative outlet for me. So whilst I play Street Fighter is its own thing. Content creation is a very separate hobby from Street Fighter. I take the content from Street Fighter. I take the gameplay, the videos, the concepts from Street Fighter, but I create videos on YouTube. YouTube and content creation is its own hobby in itself. It's just the two are interlinked, if that makes sense. So back on the old content grind now, and my gym gains are going. So Mega Trusty comes at me with it is a question, but then it's like a soppy post as well. Oh, not soppy post. It's like listen, you're gassing me, man. You're gassing me too much. The Ken committee requires your services. Show the people what an optimized Ken looks like. Show them the projectile parry level 2s, the mid-screen heavy gym ride combos. I don't even know what they are, but they sound spectacular. Maybe you got to teach me, Trusty. What situations are good for Dragon Lash? How to heavy punch DP OG Dragon Lash to go through fireballs when you don't have level 2? Man, this is sounding. This is stuff that I don't even know about. Your situational awareness in match is awesome to watch. I appreciate it. Thank you. And as a Ken main, I thank you. The committee thanks you. And even though we need you, you need yourself more, and that's okay. That is an amazing post, man. And that shows that like Metal Gear Trusty knows this channel, like just based on that entirely. What I'm going to do, Metal Gear Trusty, I'm going to put together a video for you. It's some extremely good Ken clips from recent times. I've got about 4 hours, maybe more footage to go through to pick them out, but I'll pick out some godlike plays that you will enjoy. The next one from Renan is no question. I just like to thank you for coming back with great content as usual. I appreciate it, man. Like sometimes I put out content, I think, yo, this is so sick, I'm loving it, and then I put videos out and I'm like, I don't know about that one, Rush, but I appreciate that you appreciate that I appreciate that you appreciate that the content's good. Like I said before, earlier on this video, that I create content that I feel is meaningful and that I enjoy. I enjoy making it. So if you enjoy it, then, we're on the same page, man. So thank you. Thank you. Splurge comes at me with fresh cut. I appreciate it. My hair is looking thinner. It's looking deader these days. I'm definitely losing and thinning as time goes on. But that picture I put on the original post was like October, I think. So I don't know what's happened between October and now, but I'm getting old. I'm 40 this year, so I'm getting old. That's all I'm going to say. Grays, thinning. Trip to Turkey is needed for the transplant if I'm actually going to go and do it. I'm actually seriously considering a hair transplant. And last but by no means least is Justin Xavier's question. If you don't know Justin is the individual that runs Versus Fighting. They are the head honcho when it comes to Versus Fighting. Plug-in Versus Fighting coming soon. They ask, life challenges considered, do you think you'll continue doing this for the foreseeable future? Good question. Like what I said before, it's a creative outlet for me. So I do this because I enjoy it, because I have a very creative side and it needs somewhere to release itself. So forget about Street Fighter. I just love doing content, making videos. It's very time consuming. It can be stressful. You don't know this, but this video, 30 minutes into the recording initially, my whole PC shut down and I lost the video because it was corrupt. So content creation is very annoying and it can be frustrating and time consuming. But I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. And that's why I came back to it, because I missed making the videos. But I don't know. I think the biggest problem I've got is I don't have a game that I'm really enjoying enough to commit myself like I did with 5. Can I commit myself like I did with 5? That's the other question. Do I want to? I'm very bad at balancing, because when I want to do something, I want to do that thing 100%. and I will make sacrifices, and that's what worries me. When I make sacrifices for something that doesn't really benefit me IRL, that scares me. So this scares me that I'm doing content again right now, but I need to rebuild balance and not neglect other things right now. So I'll always do it, I feel, if I have an audience and I have a reason to make videos, but I don't feel like I'm grinding like I was before. And like I said, the videos recently, I've ramped it up. Since I've come back, I've done the most videos I've ever done, I feel. And I've got to slow that down a bit because the balance isn't right. So if I have something to make content on and I have viewers, then I'll make content. Even if it comes once a week or whatnot. I would love to branch out into something different outside of fighting games, but if I'm honest, I don't feel like I've got the kahunas for it, man. I don't think I have the experience, the knowledge to do other stuff. So this has been interesting. I really appreciate these questions. I hope you've enjoyed the video as well. Any further sort of input would be appreciated with this kind of stuff. I enjoy doing this stuff because it breaks up the channel a bit in terms of the content. It's something different, something interesting, something fun. So let me know your thoughts. I appreciate the questions, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate everyone that is a part of the channel. Much appreciate, guys. Catch you later.